Joining us to talk all things failed plebiscite is news.com.au's news editor, James Law. James, now we've suspected that Labor would be dropping their support for weeks, but why did they string it out like this?
Oh, well, Bill Shorten's been really busy, guys. Give him a break. He's been over in North America hobnobbing with people, taking selfies with Justin Trudeau.
Sure.
Get off his case. But look, the real reason is that it's mostly procedural. They hadn't had the chance to have the cabinet meeting that they need to have this formal decision. That happened today. They've nixed the idea of a plebiscite. And also, look, it must be said, it doesn't hurt for an opposition to sit back and let the government stew over a decision like this, keep them guessing. So that's probably part of the political tactics is part of the reason as well.
Now, Turnbull said he's still going to take this bill to the Senate. Why would he bother when the outcome is so clear?
Well, because for the coalition, it's all about following through on the promises they made to the electorate before the election. They've been really clear on what they wanted to do since all the way back when Tony Abbott was Prime Minister. They're not interested in letting their MPs have a conscience vote on the issue, and instead they're going to put it to the people, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen now. And I think the other thing to note about this is what we're seeing with the way that these issues are playing out is we're getting a much more pragmatic Malcolm Turnbull than we got earlier in his career. You might remember that last time he was Liberal leader, he went to the mat on principle over the climate change and over the emissions trading scheme. He's not going to make the same mistake again. He's learnt that lesson.
He'll never be principled again.
He won't. We're getting a pragmatic Malcolm. Yeah. It's not as sexy.
But the coalition would argue that Labor are exploiting sort of the marriage equality cause for political purposes. I mean, is there any evidence that that's what's going on?
I think that's a very fair criticism. Labor is trying to paint themselves as the party that's more empathetic for people who are gay and who are keen on gay marriage. But truly, I think that this is mostly to do with naked politics. They can see that this is an issue that they can wedge. It's an issue that they can continue to keep alive for the next 3 years. You know, clobber the coalition with it, make them look ineffectual, and then go to the next election saying we're the only ones who will give a vote on the parliament, we're the only ones who care about this issue.
If that is true, then who's actually won this round, Labor or the coalition?
Well, look, neither of them look great. I mean, it's kind of amazing to think about when you look at it. Malcolm Turnbull, Julie Bishop, George Brandis, Bill Shorten, Tanya Plibersek, the Greens, they're all in favour of same-sex marriage. But look, we're in this situation where it's probably off the table for 3 years. It's kind of amazing. Look, at the end of the day, I think it's probably a win for Labor for the reasons I said earlier. They can continue to clobber the coalition with it, make them look empathetic towards the cause, and in the end, take it to the next election and say we're the only ones who are really supportive of this idea.
James, as we saw earlier, Eric Abetz is saying that the media is not celebrating gay people who have then come out as straight later on enough. Are we part of the problem?
I can see you really struggling with that concept, Higgins, and I get it. You know, look, at news.com.au, we have never once run a story celebrating someone who was gay and then came out as straight. And Abetz says that's a big problem and evidence of bias. I don't think it's something we're ever going to do. I'm sorry, Eric. It's not happening. It's not a political line we're going to take. Look, I think that this shows the struggle that Malcolm Turnbull has, where he has to be the boss of people who are for gay marriage, as well as the boss of people like conservative leaders like Eric Abetz, who hold these really bonkers views that really bear no resemblance to reality. So yes, it's bonkers.
Tough job.
It's a tough job.
All right. Well, James Law, news editor at news.com.au, thank you so much for joining us.
Pleasure.
And we want to know what you think. Now that it looks like the plebiscite won't be a thing anymore, what happens next?
Or more importantly, what do you think should happen next?